Okay, as we move on, Madonna's daughter, Lourdes, is now a fashion designer. She and her megastar mum, they've launched a new fashion label called Material Girl. But during the brand launch, Madonna had some really interesting comments to make about her daughter's dress sense. Have a look.
I usually tell her to take off her, 3-inch or 6-inch platforms and pull her skirt down just a little bit and take off some of the black eye makeup around her eyes. Because she does have amazing style, but, I am the typical mother where I say, oh my God, you can't go to school dressed like that.
Not quite the typical mother, I'm sure. So what do you think of your daughter's dress sense? Is it too provocative? Dannielle Miller, who's written Butterfly Effect, joins us. Good morning, Dannielle.
Good morning.
I guess with Madonna especially, it's a case of do what I say, not what I do.
Isn't it interesting that even the Material Girl has become somewhat conservative? I'd also question why her daughter would have 6-inch stilettos in the first place at 13. I mean, someone's bought those for her.
But, Madonna, it is a unique situation, but she has to play the role of mother. But this is a woman, to literally this day and age with her touring and her outfits there, and certainly what she's done in her life, pushing the boundaries. How does a mother under those circumstances try and regulate a young girl's dress sense?
Yeah, this is an interesting question. We really do need to be good role models for our daughters. Girls can't be what they can't see. And while there's nothing particularly wrong with a 13-year-old designing fashion, and I think that's really exciting for her and good on her, I think this is indicative of times where our young girls are feeling pressured to judge themselves only on being ultra thin and ultra hot. So for the average mum at home, I guess the real question is, how do I handle it if my daughter wants to dress too provocatively? And certainly if she does, you need to question and give her the skills she needs to understand why might she be feeling those pressures in the first place. It's a little bit too late once she's about to step out the door to have that conversation. So we need to encourage our daughters to realise that they are more than just their looks and that their value is not based just on how sexy they can appear. Help her deconstruct all those messages that will convince her otherwise. If you look at the sort of role models that are presented to your daughter, the Miley Cyruses and the Britney Spears and Parises and the like, they'll all be convincing her that the only way she can express her emerging sexuality and sense of self is by stripping off and getting raunchy.
And that is every single video and song that all the teenagers are absolutely loving, as everybody did before them.
Yeah, but I think it's more so today. We've really upped the ante in terms of what's acceptable and when these pressures are starting on our daughters. So as mums, I think we need to be very proactive in setting a good example and in also saying, look, that's actually just not okay. I know as a teenage girl, I left the house wearing some things that I look back now and cringe at. So although your daughter might kick up a bit of a stink, long term she'll probably be pretty happy that you did set some boundaries and stopped her from making some mistakes. As teenagers, we want to get attention, but we really want them to get attention for all the right reasons, not the wrong reasons.
The Lourdes Madonna range, it is aimed at the tweens, so that's sort of 10 to 13-year-olds. Have you seen much of it? What do you make of it?
Yeah, I think she's actually pitching at girls slightly older, 13 and above. Some of the outfits looked fine, sort of retro and 80s. Some of them were super sexy. I guess it's part of this juggernaut of marketing fashion towards young girls and getting them to be more and more fashion conscious. Quite often we see slogans on tees for little girls that say things like, I'm a fashion born to shop. We saw just this morning the credit card chewy rusk for 2-year-olds. This is crazy stuff. We want our girls to realise that they don't need more product to be more likeable and to gain attention.
Yeah, it's a long haul. Dannielle, thank you very much for that. And again, what do you think of the baby credit card, the teething card this morning? And how tough is it to sort of collar your daughter and say, no, you're not walking out the door like that. It's not acceptable when she sees all those images on the telly.